She's got daddy issues. He's just looking for a trophy wife. We've all heard the labels tossed around for couples with a big age gap. They're whispered at family gatherings and plastered all over comment sections. But what if those snap judgments are missing the point entirely? What if the secret to some of the most profound growth you can experience is hiding inside the very thing society loves to misunderstand? We're going to get into the real psychological dynamics that unfold when life wisdom and fresh energy come together in a relationship. This isn't about pretending challenges don't exist or confirming stereotypes. It's about looking past the number and exploring how bringing different generational perspectives together can spark a kind of growth that couples of the same age might never get to experience. So, if you've ever been curious, judged, or you're in an age gap relationship right now, stick around. We're about to move past the noise and get to the truth. One of the first criticisms you'll hear is the life stage problem. The argument is pretty simple. How can a 25-year-old just starting their career really connect with a 40-year-old who's thinking about settling down? It seems like a fair question. Different decades often mean different priorities, from careers and money to health and family. But here's where that thinking goes wrong. It assumes our birth year is the only thing that defines where we are in life. The reality is so much more complicated. Relationship experts are finding that what really matters for long-term compatibility isn't knowing the same 90-second songs, but sharing the same core values and being on the same emotional wavelength. A couple can have a 20-year age difference, but be perfectly aligned on what they want for their future, how they handle money, and their desire for a family. On the flip side, two people born in the same year can have completely opposite life goals. The success of these relationships isn't about starting at the same place, but about having brutally honest conversations about how your different starting points will affect the journey you take together. It forces a level of intentional communication that many other couples might just take for granted. When that happens, the age gap stops being an obstacle and becomes an opportunity, a reason to build a stronger bridge between you, proving that it's not about when you were born, but where you're going together. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful and most overlooked aspects of dating someone with an age difference. It's a two-way street of mutual learning. This isn't the cliché of an older partner dispensing wise advice to a younger one. It's a real exchange of energy and knowledge that makes both people better. The older partner often brings a sense of calm and stability that comes from having seen a thing or two. They can offer perspective on career moves, personal setbacks, and tough emotional situations because chances are they've been there. For a younger partner, this can feel incredibly grounding and safe. In return, the younger partner brings a fresh viewpoint, challenges old ways of thinking, and keeps the relationship plugged into what's happening in the world right now. They can introduce new music, new friends, and a sense of playfulness that can shake things up in the best way. This dynamic keeps the relationship from ever feeling stale. It creates an environment where both people are constantly learning and expanding their own worlds. It's a classic yin and yang, where different strengths create a more complete whole. This isn't about a teacher and a student. It's about two people creating a partnership where both are constantly growing because of what the other brings to the table. Being in an age gap relationship can be like a crash course in personal development. When you're with someone from a different generation, you're constantly exposed to different ways of looking at the world, different ways of communicating, and even different cultural references. This naturally pulls you out of your comfort zone and forces you to look at your own biases and assumptions. Think about it. You can't just rely on shared experiences to see you through a disagreement. You have to learn to genuinely understand where your partner is coming from, which builds serious skills in empathy, communication, and resolving conflict. Bridging that generational divide is a workout for your emotional intelligence. This dynamic pushes you to become more adaptable and self-aware. You learn to question beliefs you've held forever and become more flexible in your thinking. For the younger partner, seeing someone who is comfortable and established in their own skin can be a powerful model for maturity. For the older partner, the relationship can spark a new sense of curiosity and encourage them to look at parts of their life they'd long taken for granted. This shared journey of discovery helps both people become more empathetic and open-minded, making the relationship itself a catalyst for becoming better versions of themselves. One of the biggest mistakes people make is confusing age with emotional maturity. We tend to assume the older partner is automatically the more mature one, but that's just not how it works. Emotional maturity isn't about how many birthdays you've had. It's about self-awareness, taking responsibility for your feelings, and communicating with intention. You can have a 50-year-old who blames everyone else for their problems, and a 25-year-old who has profound emotional intelligence from life experience or self-reflection. The success of any relationship hinges on this quality. Now, let's be real for a second. Studies do show that larger age gaps are linked to a higher risk of divorce. One data-driven analysis found that a 5-year gap can increase the odds of divorce by 18%, and a 10-year gap by nearly 40%. But here's the key question those numbers don't answer: why? Do couples break up because of the age gap itself? Or is it because that gap can sometimes highlight a fundamental mismatch in emotional maturity, life goals, or values? The evidence suggests it's the latter. A number can't tell you how someone will handle a crisis or communicate their needs. Their emotional maturity can, and that's a quality that has nothing to do with age. So, if age isn't the deal breaker, what makes an age gap relationship work? Researchers and experts point to a clear blueprint, and it looks a lot like the blueprint for any healthy relationship, just with a bit more intention. First, you have to talk about the big stuff, early and often. Successful couples don't avoid awkward conversations about retirement plans, finances, or whether they want kids. They put the differences on the table and make a plan to navigate them together, which stops resentment from building up later. Second, they build a partnership of equals. In any relationship where one person has more money, experience, or career success, there's a risk of a power imbalance. Thriving couples are conscious of this and work to make sure both partners feel equally valued and that major decisions are made as a team. It's a partnership, not a hierarchy. Third, their core values are aligned. Your taste in music can be worlds apart, but your fundamental beliefs about life, family, and how to treat people need to be in sync. Shared interests are fun, but shared values are what get you through the tough times. And finally, they present a united front to the outside world. They set boundaries with critical friends or family and focus on the health of their own relationship, not on other people's opinions. Their ability to weather judgment as a team is proof that their connection is the only thing that really matters. When you strip away the stereotypes and snap judgments, the truth about dating someone younger becomes pretty clear. The success of the relationship has very little to do with the age gap itself. It's about the people. It's about their emotional maturity, their willingness to communicate, and their commitment to growing together. A difference in age can be a source of incredible strength, creating a dynamic partnership where wisdom and energy balance each other out, and where both people are constantly learning. But just like any relationship, it requires intention, respect, and a focus on the shared values that truly connect you. The main takeaway is this: love doesn't follow a formula, and it's certainly not defined by the date on a birth certificate. It's defined by a connection, understanding, and two people choosing to build a life together. So the next time you hear a cliché about an age gap couple, maybe just pause and consider what might really be going on. A powerful and profound connection that's simply misunderstood. What are your thoughts on age gap relationships? Have society's views ever impacted your own dating choices? Let's have a real conversation in the comments below. And if this gave you a new perspective, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of modern relationships. Thanks for watching.